everybody. How is it going? We've got so many people here. Let me scroll back and see if we can. I'll try and catch a few of you guys that were first, and then after that, know that I love you all. Chris beat Richard into the chat, and Richard is back. Richard had family in town, so Richard hasn't been in the chat for the last couple weeks, which is fine by me. And I see questions already too. So I am going to go ahead and introduce, and I will let everybody go big screen so you guys can introduce yourself to everybody. And if you're rewatching, thank you for rewatching. I get a lot of rewatch. I think it's like podcasts on the live show. I get normally like over 1,000 views after the show. So it gets watched afterwards. So if you're watching after, come hang out live with us next week. Lisa and Rob, I am saying your name. Thank you for coming. Richard, Justin, Miriam. I said hi to a couple people in the chat. Melanie. Thank you everybody for coming. And I have Dontae, Prison2Profit, is going to be my co-host tonight. Again, if you didn't hear last week, Julian is out fishing on vacation for 6 weeks. So he is being replaced temporarily. He will be back. So I'm going to go ahead and let Tay go first. And then I have my good friend Troy from Mountain Man Treasures. And we have Alessandra and David from Toledo Antique with us tonight. So I'm going to make Tay first, and then we'll do Troy, and then we'll do you guys. So Tay, go ahead.
So what's going on? What's going on, guys? It's your boy Tay, and I'm just a co-host today. The show is not about me. I just wanted to come and join Kat. So let's go ahead and just go and say hello, Troy and David and Alessandra for joining us today. And that's about it. Like I said, it's not about me.
He's helping. All right, Troy.
Oh, it's me. What's going on? Troy at Mountain Man Treasure. I'm a part-time reseller. Work at a radio station in the morning, and then come home and do eBay and YouTube. And we're in my garage. I'm now surrounded by cookie jars because I'm scared. I have to put them on my table so I don't break them before I list them and then pack them up. So now I'm surrounded by my random cookie jars.
Did your cookie jars replace your Barbies?
You know what? I don't have as many. I only have 2 Barbies left, and then I'm out of Barbies. I bought, I think, 8 cookie jars, something like that. So I didn't go. She had like 100, so I didn't go wild, but I bought a few. I don't really know what I'm doing with them. It's sad because I picked these up the day that I debuted a video where people are freaking out that I left behind apparently a very rare McCoy cookie jar. I had no idea it had a chip on the top, so I was like, I didn't know it was rare, and I saw a chip on the handle and went, And people are like, no, pick it up. So
pick it up.
Cookie jar.
And
it's not the cookie jar.
Everybody's links. I'm going to throw Toledo Antique up here. They just finished a live sale over on Instagram. But everybody's links are down below, and I'm sure Richard will be dropping them throughout the night. So if you guys would like to check out these channels, definitely do that. So here are David and Alessandra.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm David from Toledo Antique, and this is Allie.
Yeah.
And we're a husband and wife reselling team. And yeah, we have an Instagram channel where we sell. I have an eBay store. It's called Toledo Antique Mall, right?
Yes.
And then we also have our YouTube channel, which we sell on. And so I've been a pretty hardcore reseller for quite some time now, and we keep trying to find more good stuff and make great sales.
And we have a physical store where we are now.
Yes, my store is in Toledo area. It's called Northwood, Ohio, so outskirts of Toledo, but it's just one of these areas in the U.S. where it's great to find antiques, and we also run estate sales. That's one of our big things is we run estate sales, so that's one of our huge sourcing places.
Okay, cool. Well, that's awesome. So you guys are a company that runs it for families.
Yes. We kind of get a lot of referrals for estate sales because our business has been growing a lot. And so when somebody needs to move or something like that, we go in and set everything up and try to sell everything.
That's cool. And I didn't I don't think we've had anybody that has a physical store on yet. I know I've had several people with like antique booths, but I don't think I've had anybody with a store.
I started out just selling on eBay, and then this retail space went up for auction like about 5 minutes down the street from where I live. So it was a retail plaza that went into foreclosure, and Allie's like, you know what? Let's buy that.
I actually want to have my living room back in that time because I didn't have a living room.
Yeah.
That's why I got this shed, because I wanted like my house back, because as a reseller, I think it's very easy to lose your personal space in your house if you don't have somewhere outside of your house to put your stuff.
Yeah. Now we have 13,000 square feet.
now you got plenty of space. River Hills Vintage, I have like generic shipping video. It's hard because there's such a wide spectrum of items to ship. Like I just did when I shipped that big piece of artwork, I did that in the video of what sold. So I would say if it's stuff that's specific, I would almost search for a video specifically for that, because it varies so much. And I got, who was I talking to? I don't think it's her, it's Renee, about shipping a mirror. And I have a mirror up for sale, so I could possibly have to ship a big mirror, but I have not had to yet. I was lucky I shipped a canvas print, so I did not have to worry about a whole sheet of glass. So yeah. Richard and Miriam are matching. I'm trying to go through, so hopefully I don't get as behind as I was last week. So if you guys have questions, put them into the chat. You can use all caps, so I will catch them easier. Hello to my good friend Dagny, Flying Pig Thrifts. I was talking to Dagny today. Do you guys see those two pictures? Those are on rice paper. Though, yeah, and they were $5 at the thrift store. Those were not an auction pickup. And I saw some for up to $500, but I'm hoping for like $100. I'll be happy. So I found I filled up my counter and my car with stuff today. I went and picked up a big auction haul, and then I picked up a lot of stuff from 4 thrift stores because they were on the way, right?
Thrifting's addicting.
Thrifting is addicting. I was watching Derek's video earlier, Fundamentals of Hustling, about does sourcing ever stop? And I don't think, I've been really good though. I will say, like my last auction haul, I filled the truck up and it was listed within 3 days. And I think this stuff, I can have it listed by like the end of the week. So I'm trying not to add to the death pile, like get it listed and then attack more of the death pile before I go and buy more stuff. I want to know, do you guys put stuff that's in the store on eBay, or is it totally separate?
Yes. Actually, we tried to make a rule that everything in our physical store has to be put on eBay first.
Wow.
So, it's just, I have a lot more faith in selling on eBay than locally from an antique store. So, my store, I actually use it a lot. It's like a warehouse that's set up like a store.
So people could come in.
Yeah.
Okay. And is it just you two that work there that run it? So you would know to like take the item off of eBay when it's sold in the store?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but we do have two employees who help us with packing, shipping, and listing.
Okay. But like if it sells in the store, do you have like the eBay item number on it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
We have an organizational tagging system.
And how long has the store been open? Oh, sorry, Tay.
2018.
Oh, wow. So for a while.
Yeah, 2018.
Estate sales through all this.
Oh, sorry. What did you say?
You do estate sales as well.
Yeah. Well, estate sales in the Toledo area are huge. I don't think in many areas of the country, I mean, from what people are telling me, they're not quite as big, but I think estate sales have been going on big time in Toledo for probably 20 to 30 years. So there's a huge following for it. So it's a great way to sell. of course, you know, with our estate sales, usually first day is full price, second day is 25% off, third day is 50% off, then fourth day, if we have a 4-day sale, we go 75% off. So at that point, there's some serious deals for reselling.
So y'all are basically like subcontractors for.
Yeah, people hire us to come into their house, appraise things, and sell the stuff. But actually, at one of our sales coming up, we have a 1952 MG Roadster.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's like a good one.
Yeah.
And then do you take all the stuff at the end? And then I'll let Troy ask, because we're like grilling them. We're all like,
no. Estate. I love estate sales. That's like we love it, you know. So that's probably one of our specialties. But at the end of the sale, we give the families options, you know, what they want us to do. If they want us to continue trying to sell the stuff back at the antique store and putting stuff on eBay, or if, you know, the family wants to take stuff, or sometimes even, you know, if it's a big estate with things that are unlikely to sell, you know, we will get a dumpster and get rid of the stuff. But we don't like to go there, of course. I mean, you know,
right.
I'm trying to sell the stuff.
But like, if you want it, do you like offer to buy it out? Is that one of the options?
I try to sell the stuff in the estate sale. You know, I try to sell it to my customers.
Yeah.
But, you know, I usually don't buy things out of the estate sale. I try to get it on consignment. So I'll consign the stuff for the family. So we have percentages that we offer things. So at an estate sale, our typical percentage is 35%. But if I bring it back to the store, then I have to pay somebody to put it on eBay or whatever. So then I just split the money.
Is their sound messing up for you guys too?
No, I'm good.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to unplug and replug. No, they're saying, which is cool.
I think that's amazing how y'all gravitated from eBay to going to estate sales to like this, how you got your toes in so many different markets. That's a beautiful thing.
Well, that's how, I mean, for us, that's how to survive in the resale business industry. You know, like one thing doesn't usually, I mean, totally produce enough for us. So we need to take different directions. And, you know, I mean, I was a shopper at estate sales for a long time. So I, you know, was going to other people's estate sales, shopping there. So I met all the different estate sale companies in the area, and I made friends where I can. And I mean, just for anybody who's in business, I think that that's kind of probably the strongest recommendation I can give, is to network and make friends with everyone you can, and be nice to everyone.
Yeah, that's so true. I was saying that recently. So Troy,
I was just curious, like how, because here, when we have estate sales, I know what the prices are going to be before I go, based on who's running it. If it's Rudy's company, I know that I'm going to have to dig and find something on that first day that he doesn't know about, but everything is going to be mostly overpriced. There's another company where everything's going to be, I can load up my car, and there's another one that's in the middle. Like, where are you guys at? Like, are you reseller friendly so that there's a margin there, or are you pricing because you know the market?
Well, you know, it's a little complicated because, I mean, we're mainly representing our client. So, you know, I try to price things at what they're worth, but we do discount aggressively. So, I mean, for the resellers, I think pretty much you better be first one in line that third day, because that's our half off day, and stuff is just going to walk out the door in the first couple of hours, you know. And then when we have a 4th day sale, I mean, I would say somebody should try to come the 3rd day, but if it's still too high for you or you want a higher margin, you know, you could always risk it and then come back the next day. But it's very interesting because a lot of stuff will sell.
But I would say we're pretty good in pricing, because we have been selling like a 90% of the estate in the end.
Well, and since the stimulus checks came out, oh my goodness, our sales, I mean, we're blowing our estimates out of the water. You know, sometimes the family say, what do you think is here? We're like, oh, you know, $7,000, and we're just like crushing it. And we're like, what the heck happened?
Yeah, that's awesome, though. Do you see that question from Johnny, Cajun Roots Reseller? He wanted to, did you answer while I was gone or not yet?
I didn't. I just noticed that as you were coming back in. But Cajun Roots. Instagram actually has a live feature, so you don't need any software. That's one of the really strong things about them is you don't need any software to go live, and you don't even need to have a certain number of followers to go live on there. You can go live like from the get-go.
Yeah, you just swipe right, and then you are going to see the options on the bottom of the screen. The screen is when you swipe right, the screen goes to your camera, and then you are going to see the options, and one of the options is go live.
Yeah, I think at the bottom of the screen it'll say Reels, Live, Stories.
And do you guys just show it and let people bid in the chat? Is that how you run it?
Yeah.
And then do you keep a spreadsheet on like who your winners are? Okay.
Yeah, we take notes.
I'm wondering if that's what he if that's what he meant. Hello, Kayla.
But we encourage our buyers to take screenshots during our sales so that they have a record as well of what they got, and then the person who sends us the screenshot, it's just kind of like a double confirmation.
That makes sense. Crystal wants to know is there a particular size and gauge bubble wrap that we use most often? And I did put my link for American Bubble Boy for bubble wrap. I'm super excited to have that. If you haven't seen me, I put it all over the place. I use the small and the large, and I actually saw somebody comment American Bubble is one of the few places that has the one that's in the middle of the small and the large. But with my breakables, I wrap them in small bubble wrap followed by large bubble wrap. So I use both sizes. What do you guys use as far as bubble wrap sizes?
I use mostly the small. Like I buy 700 feet at a time, and I overprotect stuff. Like, I mean, I'll put a wrap of bubble around something that doesn't really need it, mostly because I want that person to open it up and see that I wrapped something that it's the impression, right? Of they care for my item. Most of the positive feedback I get when I point out specific things, it's packaging and speed of delivery. So I over bubble, but it's so cheap, $30 basically for 700 feet.
Yeah.
So I can use a lot of the smaller bubble. And if it's something breakable, then I tend to put like a cardboard wrap around it before I put it in the box. So it's essentially double boxed.
Yeah, we do the same as you, Kat. We do like small bubbles and then bigger bubbles. And we also bubble things that doesn't need to be bubble.
One of the crazy things that is a little bit different about our business is I started having a lot of success selling porcelain items on eBay. So sets of china, like we sell sets of china like crazy.
100 pieces.
For really high prices.
I say you're crazy. I tell everybody, do not do that. Do not do it. And I have done it, and not on purpose, mind you. I will lot up my plates and my cups and saucers in sets of 2 or 4, and I will lot up the dinner plates, and people will go buy the whole set anyway. So I have had to ship the entire set, but I don't want when I ship mine, I think I want to say when I did a big set, like you're saying, like over 50 pieces, it was like 3 boxes.
No, I do only in one box, and nothing breaks.
But we put them in small boxes inside. So like a stack of plates in a smaller box, and then you put all these smaller boxes in the bigger box.
Yeah.
I probably overdid it. That's why I didn't have room, because I was like so used to going crazy with bubble wrap. So do you just put like one layer of bubble wrap in between each plate and then them in the box?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think we usually wrap like a plate. So there's wrapping around it, so there's a layer on the top and the bottom,
Yeah.
But one of my first sales I ever made on eBay was a set of china that I bought for $40, and then it went for like $400. So that got me hooked on dishes.
I do a lot of dishes too. I'm a big dishes person, but I'm not a big dishes set. I like to buy them in sets. I do not like to sell them in sets.
Yeah.
I shipped 1 coffee mug and it broke. I've never shipped a glass.
You gotta watch the handle. You gotta watch the handle with a coffee mug. That's the dangerous part. Cross Hoss Sift and Thrift. That's a mouthful of a name. Do we have death piles, and if so, how big are they?
Death pile refers to
what we don't list it.
What is not listed?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's called storage.
Yeah.
I don't believe in death piles personally.
See, so that's like so I bought this shed just for my death pile. If you guys do not know, this is a 12 by 40 shed. The only things in here are unlisted inventory or my display. I've worked through quite a bit of it, but I like to buy in bulk. Like I like to hit the auctions and buy tons of box lots. So I'm coming home with hundreds of pieces. I need to hit it. And I have been better about like not picking up as much as I normally would. Like I'm picking up more like the single higher priced items versus a bunch of box lots like I like to do. So I'm not getting as much, but I probably have, like, if you guys can see, the whole back of that shed is unlisted inventory. It's shelves. Probably, I would say at least 2,000, at least, if not more.
Betty Boop's not listed?
Betty Boop is not for sale. Betty Boop is from Richard. Otnip Draw Flips, my main moderator in there, sent her to me. So she was a gift.
Oh.
So she is not for sale.
Very cool. Very cool.
I don't know how to operate without a death pile. Like, I mean, I've got to, especially during like, I mean, the last year, there was a lot of people that ran out of stuff. I was selling reseller boxes to people that were like, I don't have any more stuff to list and I can't go out because we're on lockdown. So I was selling reseller boxes out of my death pile, right? Like, so, you know, and especially being part-time, I'm not to the level of Kat where I'm like renting a U-Haul to go and pick up stuff, but
I'm looking at buying a trailer.
I believe it. And you'll haul behind that a trailer. And, you know, if I have a really good garage sale weekend, I'm coming home with an entire carload of stuff. There's no way I'm going to get all that listed. Like, it's going to go in a pile. Like, I'll start listing it. There's no way that it's not going to create a pile. And in Montana, I mean, like in Michigan, you guys have garage sale season. You know, I mean, it only goes for 3-4 months. There's no garage selling for most of the year. So then I feed off of that pile from when there are no sales.
All right, Tay, tell us about no death pile.
For me personally, okay, I think if you have a death pile, it should last no longer than 3 days.
It's not a pile. That's a dust bunny.
Because you can source whatever, that's like garage sale season. So if I know if I'm going to a garage sale a day, Saturday and Sunday, if I go garage sales, let's say if I come home with like 70 or 80 items, like I know I can get those 70 or 80 items listed that Monday or Tuesday. And then vice versa. Like on my fill a bag days, like I come home with 200 plus items. I would have to go sort through those items, decide which items were good, which items were bad, decide which items we're going to send to Amazon, which items we're going to put on eBay, which items we're going to put on Mercari. And I used to do all that literally in a day. So, I mean, just for me, I just don't like because I know the next day I'm gonna go shopping, and I also know, I guess that's because of my sourcing opportunities. So that comes into play too.
You have a lot of bins. Like here, I have no. Well, they opened like a mini one. It's very laughable, to be honest. It has like 4 crates. But for me, I have one little thrift store, which is kind of hit or miss. I don't like retail arbitrage. There's like a Walmart and a Winn-Dixie where I live, and that's about it. And so for me, I have to drive, and this is where my death pile came from. I have to drive normally about 2 hours on average one way to pick up these box lots. So I'm sourcing from auctions where you see, and I'm like, if I'm driving 4 hours total, putting in my time, putting in my money, putting in my gas, I'm going to get a lot of stuff. Like, it's going to be worth it. So the nice thing about my death pile is it's all paid for. Like, I pull out like the higher dollar stuff, which is, I think it's typical of a lot of people with death piles. You're going to pull out your most valuable, but that's because I want my investment back. So then this other stuff that's sitting back here is pretty much it's all profit. So it's not like, it is money sitting there, obviously, because it's not listed, but it's, you know, the investment is already recouped. If that
so with 2,000 items though, you don't ever want to get to the, well, you can hire somebody $10 an hour and they can like list all those items for you.
So I tried and my mom was listing for me, and her pictures were horrible, and my mom does not watch my show, thank goodness. But if you guys don't, I was a professional photographer for 8 years before I went to nursing school. So I'm very finicky on my pictures and how they're taken. And I tried 4 people. I tried to hire someone, and nobody came back. So I would pay them for training, and I wanted to pay by the item, and depending on how difficult it was, I would pay more. So like a DVD that's like front and back, I'm not going to pay, you know, a bunch because I'm only making $4 on it. But nobody came back. 4 people. I spent like the whole day training them, showing them what everything was, showing them how to list, walking them through it, and they didn't come back. So it's like nobody wants to work, which sucks.
Pat, you're part-time. Like, you put in more hours than humanly possible somehow. I don't know how you do all you do, but still you're part-time. Like, so I think that's different too, is that I would bet that most part-timers have a death pile.
Yeah.
Because there's no way, like, I don't have, you know, I can list 10 items a day when I go to work in the morning if they're very easy items. Otherwise, I'm listing 5 or 6 items a day through the week.
And I think Walter's question is directed to Toledo Antique, I believe. Do you find a lot of Amish items to resell in your area? Pottery, work tools, or larger things?
We do find a lot of Amish furniture. That's the main Amish thing I find. Now, Toledo isn't a big Amish area. I'm from Northeast Ohio, and that was like the 4th largest Amish community in the U.S. That's like Geauga County area, so a lot more Amish stuff out there. But as far as reselling Amish stuff, I can't recall really doing a whole lot of that.
We do have a carriage for sale in one of our states.
They're like, by the way, we do have a carriage.
I see like Amish tables and stuff. Like, people are like, "Oh, that's Amish made." Well,
yeah.
This is 20 minutes from me. Oh yeah.
Toledo
you got to go to their store. They have a store.
As soon as they said that, I already entered it into Google. So, you know.
Well, even better, come to our estate sales.
Yeah.
I will.
On the 3rd day.
I promise.
I'll be like, this is good. This is good. You know,
I just got into estate sales in this area. Like, this is my first time ever shopping at estate sales, so I will be that person at all of the estate sales. So yeah,
that works, and you're close.
Yeah, one coming that's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll be in the DMs.
Rachel wants to know, a new seller shipping free or calculated? I'm going to tell you, and I will let everybody answer. You might get different answers from everybody. For me, if you are new, I recommend doing calculated, because you might think you know what that's going to cost, but you don't. And if you're like me in Florida, over half my stuff ships out to California. So that's a difference between $8 for shipping and $15. If it goes to like Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, it's $8. If it goes to California, it's $15. So if I build $15 into the price, a Florida person is more likely not going to buy it. And I would rather them go closer, but most of my stuff is one-off rare items. So the people in California are willing to pay exactly what it costs. So I say I would do calculated. The only time I really do free is if it is under £1 and I know I'm going to max out at $5.50, and you can build that in. What do you guys say?
Sure.
Me? Okay. I was waiting for you. Like, you're, I guess the answer is it depends a little bit. Like, I mean, Kat, you're right. Like, in terms of, if you're new, you ought to do calculated on everything until you really get a handle on shipping, I think. But I do a lot of first class stuff. So I send, sorry, now I have an update that's ready to be installed. I do a lot of first class stuff. And so for that, a lot of times it is free shipping, though free shipping, obviously you build that into your price. Sometimes it depends on what the market says. Like, if everybody that's selling them is selling them with free shipping, you kind of have to follow that, right? Yeah. The other thing, like, I sold a Wii Sports Resort today. A lot of people are selling them for $29.99 free shipping. So, or $29.99 plus shipping is what a lot of people sell them at. I put mine at $34.99 free shipping, crossing my fingers, hoping that maybe somebody in Colorado buys it and I save $1 or $2 on the shipping, you know? So, I mean, it's really item dependent for me.
Yeah.
We never offer free shipping.
Yeah.
Because there goes my profit, you know. But we actually usually just estimate it.
Yeah, we estimate it, and it's because, well, first of all, we pay somebody for packing things. So we are paying an employee to be on the store for 8 hours per day to pack stuff for us and print labels ready to go. And second, we also invest a lot in materials to pack boxes and everything. And so we don't do free shipping, but we do one thing that we learned right now that's called pirate ship.
Yeah, I use pirate ship.
Wow.
Do you use pirate ship with eBay listings though, or?
Yeah. So, but mainly if it's smaller and heavier because of the cubic rate. I have noticed some things aren't offering the discount anymore. And then Troy, are you still using it a lot for the standard international, like for the flat rate international thing?
Yeah, I use it sometimes. I use it for anything that sells through one of my web interpret listings. I use pirate ship to sell internationally. But I actually have shifted most of my eBay stuff. They moved to Ascendia and they changed the way they do it, and it's taking longer. And stuff's like stopping tracking while it travels overseas. I got one right now that the guy's like, "Hey, it hasn't updated shipping." Well, pirate ship, I messaged them and they said, "Well, yeah, it's because UK mail hasn't, Royal Mail hasn't signed it in yet. They probably haven't received it." I use eBay Standard International for most of my stuff now, unless it's web interpret. And then I use the pirate ship, but that's for international stuff. Yeah, I have to put in all the accurate weight anyway if it's going international. So for a lot of stuff, if it's not first class, I'll charge because I already have to know the measurements anyway because I'm not giving free international shipping.
Tay, what do you say for a new seller? Should they do free or calculated?
So my opinion on shipping is for me, I know a lot of people, whenever they search eBay, they usually search free shipping first, or they search low cost.
I filter by lowest and like price plus shipping. So like for me, I don't care if shipping's free or I'm paying the price plus shipping, but I want the cheapest overall item.
Yeah. For me, I think it just all boils down to whatever profit margin that you're willing to take. Because everybody's going to have a different answer. Some items are going to be okay with free shipping. Some items are going to be okay with a calculated shipping. And some items, honestly, I learned this from Tommy. They are better with just literally a flat rate shipping price.
Which it sounds like what Ali and David are doing. Mm-hmm. And I do some, since I watched Tommy's show, I do some just flat rate as well. Not on my heavy breakable stuff because most of it, like I said, is more rare and people are willing to pay the price for the shipping. RV, butterfly, wholesale, and thrifting. I will tell you guys, and I go over it in my video that's coming out tomorrow. I sold $20 on Saturday. I have $80,000 in inventory listed, and I sold $20.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people that are slow right now. But I will tell you, I shipped out 400 today on a Tuesday, and my average is 250. So I had that one low day, and now I'm back at where I normally am. But I've seen it both ways. I was watching Flashback Finds video today, and he did like $1,200 on one day last week, and I'm like, okay, well, Cameron's kicking my butt. Yeah, but I mean that's not the norm. But it's an ebb and flow, and for me, it's been hard. And I've been talking. I know I was talking to Primetime Treasure Hunter Dom about it. Like it's hard mentally, even as a part-time reseller, to have these slow days, and you're like, man, like it's scary. And when you're used to having a certain amount of sales a day, and then you don't get it. It's it hit me, and I'm like, okay, I'm keeping listing, and I kept doing what I was doing, and the problem was I couldn't pinpoint why. I'm still listing the same type of items, the same quantity of items, and I had a $20 sales day. So you're not the only one. How are you guys sales been like over the last couple weeks?
Mine are good in general. Like last week I was telling you I had a $33 day on what was it, last Tuesday, but then Wednesday was $618. Like, I mean, not usually is it the jump that big, but I have a video coming out tomorrow. I was recording today. I think we have the summer slowdown. I think it's going to start early this year because people are so sick of being in. They're ready to get out. They're getting ready to do stuff. So I think we're going to have days where it's a spring slowdown. Like, I think we're just going to start seeing those days where, for whatever reason, we just have less. And I think it's because people are out doing stuff.
Yeah, people are actually spending money on adventure.
They're starting it 2 months early.
Right. And people can go out a lot of places where there were lockdowns. So they're probably, you know, going out and doing that. On eBay, how many listings do each of you have? And how many would you guess you sell per month? I will say I'm almost up to 2,700 listings. My goal is to be at 3,000 by the end of May. And having this bulk DVD buy makes that easy because we can list 20 DVDs in an hour. So that has, you know, that's a lot, like a couple hundred of those numbers. And I sell an average of like 10 a day. So about 300 to 400 items per month is what I'm doing.
I personally, I have 490 items in one eBay store. I have like 50 items in another eBay store, and then I have 470 something items on my Amazon account. Roughly, Amazon sales, that's what have been slow for me personally, not eBay. Amazon, I probably get like a few sales a week now. eBay, I probably average like around 30 something kind of sales a week. But my profit margins are decent. I can't get over like the 550 listing mark. Like every time I get over 500 listings, like it gets sold. So for me, that's a good thing. And I really can't tell you how many I sell a month. So I guess 90, maybe 100 items a month.
You know, we have 2,000 active listings, and last month, I think was that the last month?
Well, the last month was 10,000 in sales.
Yeah, we sold it. We see, like, our sales are so funny because sometimes we sell like a really big item and it just but
it skews everything. That's my Ethan Allen furniture does that. It like throws everything up.
But we just have 126 sales in the last 90 days. My theory on eBay, I let stuff kind of sit there for a while. I don't have a whole lot of pressure to sell, you know, and you know, like in the last week or so, we sold this lamp. It was Tiffany Studios. I made a little video of it on my YouTube channel, but that was one of those like kind of really big sales because it's rare glass. But you know, we saw some interesting stuff, but it's just that kind of boosts our sales. It's like a few items that are kind of high dollar,
that are high price. Yeah.
What we do to adds up, it's the live sales. So we do live sales on Instagram, we do live sales on YouTube, and that adds up, you know, to the sales on a week.
It's a lot of work.
My number's weird. I don't know how many. I mean, in the US, I usually hover around 850, but I mentioned Web Interpret, so I have listings on, I think it's 8 other countries' eBay sites right now. So it actually skews my, like, officially my app says I have 7,025 active listings because I have some items that are listed in 4 countries, some are in 8, some are, you know, so I mean, I guess I have 7,000 active listings across.
Technically, but it's a lot of copies of the same.
Yeah, but I mean, individual listings, individual items, it's like 8. I usually sit about 8 to 850, and that's good for me doing it part-time. I don't want to sell too much stuff because I can't keep up with it. Right. Like, so that's kind of the sweet spot for me is if I sit right around that 800 mark, I sell between 6 and 8 items a day. My 90 says 542 things sold. Okay. So that's where I'm at.
Brian, I see your super chat. I'm going to give you a dolphin here in a second. D wants to know advice on selling 5 vintage bowls. I kind of do like David and Allie were saying. I put a thin layer of bubble wrap in between each bowl. Like I wrap the first one, set, wrap, set, wrap, set, and then I wrap the whole thing in big bubble wrap. And then I normally would use like a number 7 free priority box for a set of 5 bowls. Do you guys have anything else advice wise for that?
I'm not selling bowls.
I mean, I think it just depends if the bowls are like kind of if they nest easily or not, you know.
Yeah.
If they nest easily, I think I would just
do like you do it. If they don't nest in each other, I would definitely put like one beside the other, and then we use a lot of peanuts as well. Besides the bubbles, small and big bubbles, and then peanuts. So then I will do like a layer of peanuts, put the balls, one more layer of peanuts, and then more balls over. That's worked pretty well.
Let me give you your dolphin. Here you go, Brian.
Super chat.
Thank you. If you guys don't know, Brian, Mr. Buys a Lot, does a lot of YouTube auctions for resellers specifically. So Brian buys way, way, way more than me. He buys like warehouses full of stuff.
Every weekend.
All the time. He buys out everybody. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing. Yeah, see, I just took a week off work and I don't feel like I accomplished much, but that is okay. Hello, Eric. I just hung out and kind of I might be missing like I don't know if D means this to us.
D's probably talking because I mentioned how I sold some reseller lot. I sold
yeah.
I sold them out of my merch store, essentially, like mentioned on my YouTube. Like, hey, I've got some boxes, and people bought them just off of my big cartel store.
Yeah, I list when I do reseller lots. A lot of times I just put it in my community feed, and people just send me the PayPal, and sometimes I use my big cartel store. Sue's along the way, is my shed climate controlled? I have an extra shed I can convert into eBay storage, but I'm concerned about items being ruined by hot or cold temps. So if you see, there is spray foam insulation, which is not cheap. It costs $2,500 in the shed. So the shed all has spray foam insulation, and I do have an air conditioner. In Florida, our issue is the humidity. I've seen a lot, like hundreds of thousands of dollars of people's inventory be ruined in sheds in Florida because they did not climate control it. Clothes will get mildew, shoes will get mildew. If you're in Florida and you have a shed and you're not insulating it, you're probably putting all of your inventory at risk. That's all I'm going to say. I have seen it firsthand, unfortunately, from a friend of mine. I don't know Pennsylvania's climate. Like here, we're worried more about humidity. So like the AC's pulling out that humidity, and then I have the insulation. That the heat is more a comfort thing here. Like the cold temps, I don't think would damage any of my inventory, and it's drier in the winter here. But the humidity in the summer is horrible. So without knowing Pennsylvania's climate very well, because you might get way colder than me, and you might have to worry about like really cold temperatures that I don't have to worry about.
Colder than you.
No, not everywhere, because I'm in North Florida. I'm close to Georgia, so we get some teens. I get some winter weather.
Why does it feel like I'm in a scary movie? It done got dark out here in my background.
What's going on?
It's like, what's going on?
I did not fire my mom. My mom was here today working. I fired my mom from listing, but my mom cross post. And actually today my mom sat in the shed because Brad was off looking for a truck for our business, and my mom typed in the weights for all of my items I shipped out today, and she was watching Dalton. So my mom is still cross posting, and she actually, like, now she's pretty cognizant about, does she keep up with me? So if I list 50 or 60 items, like, she won't come tomorrow or Thursday because I work 12-hour shifts the next 2 days. So on Friday, she'll want to catch up, like, everything I list, like, tonight, tomorrow, Thursday, she wants to catch up and then make a dent. So I think she's got almost 2,000 of my 2,700 items are cross-posted to all platforms. Now, after she finishes the cross-posting, I'm going to have to find her a new job, but it's not going to be listing. Just saying.
Well, I could give you an advice that I do here with our employees. I got one person that's very, very good in picturing, but then the other one, I put them just to list it, make a draft. And then that good person on pictures just come and add the pictures.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
And then do you finalize? Is it in drafts and you put the prices?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you might get a $2,000 item listed for $5,000, and that's no good.
Right.
Yeah, that's what happened when I had my employee. I lost like so many dollars just letting them price items.
I review each single draft, and then.
And usually I'm like, hey, Allie, can you raise the price on that?
Hello. Where did it go? I saw a super chat from. Oh, there it is. It's a super chat for Dontae from Leroy. I'm still gonna give Leroy Dolphin.
Yeah.
Super chat.
Appreciate
Thank
you,
you,
Leroy.
Leroy. I appreciate it very much. I'm trying to, and if I miss, oh, here's a question. Do you think eBay punishes us for not filling in recommended item specifics?
It does.
Well, I think that they're going to remove the listings eventually if you don't put that in.
I don't know if everybody saw, but eBay did send a letter out saying that they are going to remove listings that don't have the specifics. And we had a couple listings removed. So.
Well, there's a difference too, I will say, in required and recommended.
Yes.
So if I see required specifics coming soon, I'm on it. But if it's recommended, I'm kind of whatever. I think 1,000 of my listings have recommended. So I don't know that they punish you, but you might be punishing yourself by not filling in those specifics because people might be using that drop down tab for that specific item to find what they want. And if you don't fill it in, they're not going to find yours.
Well, and then when they do their search, like the way they have it set up now, like if I just list vintage Nike hat embroidered swoosh, but somebody types in Nike embroidered hat swoosh white. Well, if I don't have white, if I didn't put white in my title, but I put it in that pull down in the color, mine will still show up. So, you know, you don't have to have all the keywords in your title. If you have them in the item specifics, it'll still come up in the search. So you are at times hurting yourself if you don't have specifics, and it doesn't take that long to fill them out. You don't have to fill out all of them, but I mean, the basic ones, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the items that we sell, it's kind of hard to come up with those specifics, we find, you know. Some
of the ones that they recommend make no sense for items they recommend it for.
Yeah.
Melissa, my lowest price on DVDs is actually $5. $5 plus shipping. I'm not doing free shipping because, and I've said this over and over, I promote and I don't want to pay a promoted fee on the shipping built into the item. So I'll pay the promoted on that $5 if it sells promoted, and then I don't get a promoted fee on the shipping cost, which I do media mail. So it comes out to like $8.88. But I'm shipping at least like 1 or 2 out a day, and that's like $4 of profit when I paid 30 cents a DVD. And Brad will sit there because Brad's been doing Doge. Brad's into the cryptocurrency thing. So he'll watch his videos and lives about the cryptocurrency with a pile of DVDs in front of him, just sitting there watching his cryptocurrency lists and DVDs. And I know I got a lot of comments. I'm not listing the DVDs, Brad is, so I'm still listing like my higher priced, you know, collectibles and the artwork. I would never just stop and only list $9 DVDs because that would, you know, I don't want to only sell $9 DVDs. I wanted something that was easy for him to list, you know, while he's sitting at his desk, you know, watching and doing other stuff. But $4 when it's on 1,000 DVDs is $4,000 in profit, and all you're doing is throwing them in a bubble mailer. You know, it's pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
I love selling DVDs.
Just to answer that question, my accent is from Brazil.
Yes, thank you. I'm bad about I see another one, so I click it, and then so I'm glad you remembered. I will say too that like with the DVDs and stuff, like all of that stuff adds up. And I feel like if you get sales on those lower priced items, it's going to bump your higher priced items up in the algorithm. Like eBay's like, oh, they're selling stuff. Let me show their other stuff higher up. Do I know that for a fact? No, nobody knows what eBay does.
Do you, Kat, do you have I just pulled the trigger today. So I'm curious if you have an Easy Pro. Since you're selling DVDs, do you have the JFJ to resurface them? No.
Nope. I'm selling them however they are, and if they want a refund because they don't work, I'll give it to them and they can keep it. I don't have time to I look and make sure they don't look like they have scratches. But if I was doing like video games or something, I think I would consider like getting the resurfacer. But with just the DVDs at mostly $5, I don't worry about it. I will tell you guys though, we sold one for $70 that was just in that whole lot. Like, you don't ever know when you buy these bulk lots. And that's why you should check them instead of like, oh, $9.99, $9.99, $9.99. Wait, Like, you know, one sold for $70 in a day.
Yeah, I sold one day of listing this weekend for $40 on an offer. And I was just like, you know what? I'll go for more later, but I'll turn around a $1 buy to $40 instantly. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that is interesting. So Hot Collector Decor More says the collectibles, holiday and seasonal, Christmas and Halloween have merged together. So the item specifics are all out of whack. I will not lie. I probably will not check it out. I will just keep rolling because that's what I do. I'm very, and if people have been watching me, I'm just like, I just go. I don't like look back. If I mess stuff up, I'll just like, I'll fix it on future and just keep on going. Brian says that Troy is catching up to him.
Yeah, not really. No way.
I'm trying to see. If I missed a question, definitely put it again in the comments, guys. We do have almost 300 people in here watching, so thank you all so much for hanging out with us and being here. I greatly appreciate it. So I will say I stopped since my good friend Jocelyn Crazy Lamp Lady came on. I stopped using peanuts. I have not used peanuts since. I'm using packing paper and bubble wrap, and I've not had anything break. So Jocelyn only sells breakables, and she doesn't use peanuts. She uses packing paper and bubble wrap. And I figured if she had stuff that wasn't breaking, I could do it too. And Dalton is obsessed with crumbling peanuts. Like every peanut he finds, he likes to crumble it into little peanut pieces. So I'm very happy to not have peanuts in here anymore. Very happy. And it's been working, so I'm glad. Oh, I see another super chat. Tiffany De Palma, thank you so much. I will give you a dolphin. Super chat. See, look. Thank you, Tiffany. Somebody else is agreeing with me. North Florida does get winter weather, guys. We get cold here. Not cold like you guys get cold, but we get cold.
Keep snowing in Ohio periodically.
I do not do snow. So it snowed in Jacksonville, Florida. It snowed in Jacksonville, Florida when I lived there, I think in the 80s one day. And then I like to go to Tennessee, to Gatlinburg, to the mountains. So I've seen the snow when I go there, and when you're high up, there's almost always snow. And that's about it. Oh, I think I saw snow in Boston as a child, but no other
Hey,
snow.
Kat.
Yes, sir.
Gibby's girl, she sent you a super chat as well, and she asked a question.
Where did I miss? Like recently?
It was before.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Let me get this, and then I'll get you, Renee. I promise. Let me give them their super chat, and then their dolphin, and then we will answer the question. Super chat. This is going to be a sucky answer.
You better play that dolphin again then.
I need to give you like 5 dolphins. The only thing that I have heard is that like Facebook has a group, almost like the eBay for business. There's a Facebook marketplace for business that you could contact them through that. I have never had that issue, but somebody else had that issue. I don't know if they are in the chat or not. But if you are in the chat, let us know. And if you resolve that, definitely let us know that as well. Because there was somebody else saying they were going through the same thing. And I know Troy's not doing it because we were talking about that on Instagram. Are either of you, Tay or David and Ali, are you guys doing Facebook Marketplace shipping where you could possibly help?
No,
not
we don't. Oh, sorry.
We just sell on Facebook Marketplace. We just sell like big pieces of furniture that we have difficulty selling.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get back to, hi, Katie. I'm going to get back to, that is Katie Reeds, for those of you that do not know. They're with Prison2Profit. Mary wants to know, I see you didn't put insurance on the art you shipped. May I ask why? Well, I shipped it UPS and FedEx, and I only had $38 into it. So I'm automatically covered for $100, and that would recoup my cost. Listen, Richard. So that typically with USPS I do, but I have heard that UPS and FedEx are extremely difficult to file claims with. So if something happened to that, I probably would have just ate that. So that's my answer for that. Okay, listen, Richard is being a pain in the butt. He's giving me money being a pain in the butt, so that's okay. Glass is half empty. Listen, I will tell you guys, I'm going to tell you my answer, and then I'm going to let everybody else answer, but I am always a glass is half full. I am like positive, positive, positive. My husband is the opposite. He is a glass is half empty. So here's your dolphin, and then I'll let the guests answer.
Super chat.
Troy?
You know, I think I try to live with half full, but I also have moments of worrying that there's a crack in the bottom of the glass. So
I think I'm a glass full, right? You too.
Yes, we are definitely glasses half full. You kind of have to be when you have an antique store.
Yeah, exactly.
Katie and Tay?
Hello.
Hello. Glass half empty or half full, Tay?
Half empty.
I'm half full.
See, that's how me and Brad are. I'm half full and he's half empty. And it drives me crazy because I'm like, could you stop being so negative about it? Like, stop it. Like, now, Renee, I lost your question, so I might come back on it, but put it back in chat in case I don't, because I lost it. Candace has a question. I sold a vintage sewing machine, had UPS pack and shipped. It arrived broken. I'm not having good luck with eBay. Oh, Candace. So Candace is a new seller, guys, and her first one, she got scammed on a $400 VCR. I'm so sorry to hear that, Candace. I'm so sorry. I'm hoping somebody else can answer, because I believe when they pack it for you, there's like an additional protection. I have never had a UPS store pack for me. Can anybody else help her?
Yeah, they're supposed to have that additional protection on it, and they're also supposed to have some insurance on it for you, up to like a certain. But they can hit you with like this up to a certain like $250 though. I mean, that's like the initial insurance they provide before you have to kick in and pay some more money for insurance. But that's all I know about that. But if UPS said
So
that they
should
broke
she
it,
go to the store, you think? Like go to that UPS store and show them, I guess, the proof?
As long as she has a receipt and proof that they said that they're the ones who damaged it, and that's the reason. Yeah.
And communicate with the buyer that you're talking to UPS, like constantly having open communication, so that way the buyer isn't going crazy.
And have them send pictures of the item, the inside packaging, the outside packaging, with the label. I know USPS wants that a lot. They want to see their label on that specific box. And yeah, like Katie said, definitely let them know, hey, I'm trying to get insurance to cover this. Most of them will be understanding. I've had them be okay waiting 30 days till I could get my money, and then I give it back. Not all of them.
Yeah, the only problem I've had getting an insurance claim filled one time was with FedEx, and it was very strange because they wanted a picture of the inside packing material. So I shipped a tabernacle to a church in Texas. So a priest in Texas buys this tabernacle, and I guess somebody flipped it over and dropped it, and it got bent. And so they wouldn't reimburse me because I didn't have a picture of the inside packing material.
That's so, see, and that's what I've heard. And that's one of the reasons, unless it's like a significant amount of money cheaper, I ship with USPS, because I've only had issues one time with their claims where they would, I don't know, this was over a year ago on my channel. It's probably the only time I've been like irate, and I made a video and I did not care. I was pissed off. It was $600 worth of paint, and they basically destroyed the boxes that were brand new USPS large priority mail boxes. They destroyed them and delivered it to my customer in a bag. They weren't even in the box. And it was expensive vintage ceramic paint.
Huh.
And they denied it, saying that my customer had to bring every single piece of that into the post office. And she went to 4 different post offices for me, and they kept telling her she needed to go to another one. And finally, I was just like, never, like, just, I ate it. And that was the only, and my post office tried to help me, but it was the receiving end that was in control of approving the claim. Because our post office here will stay open late for us. That's how good of a relationship we have. Brad can text the postmaster and be like, hey, I'm coming now. It's 5 o'clock. And they will wait off the clock for him.
Ours is closing at 4:58. They don't care.
You must be taking a lot of packages in there.
We do, but we bring the scan form, so they like us. So we're just like, okay, here, this is all in the scan form. But Facebook Marketplace and Mercari, of course, are not on the scan form.
But right now, at least here, USPS, we can go 24 hours per day, 7 days a week, if you have the pre-label done.
Not here, 'cause I'm in like a 1-horse town.
And they have this machine, you scan your packets, you put it in the
I wish we had something
little
like
drop
that.
off, and you get your receipt. So 24 hours, midnight, anytime.
All right. I see your super chat, Suze, and I will give you your dolphin. I want to answer Renee's question because I had it up and then I went backwards. So Renee wants to know, do we all have bin stores in our area, and where do we source most of our items?
I don't have one in my state. So actually, no, that's not true. There is a by the pound place about 4 hours away that's new. I've not been to it yet, but I don't feel like driving 4.5 hours just to go to the bins, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I heard from Bolo buddies that they have bins in Columbus, but Toledo, no, I don't know of anything like that.
Yeah.
And I source just about everywhere from estate sales, thrift stores, auctions. People drop stuff off at my store, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, variety of
That would be the nice thing about a storefront. My absolute favorite auction I buy box lots from, they have a pawn shop that is only one way. They don't sell out of the pawn shop. So they only take stuff in, and then if it's like a outright sale, they auction it off. So like you can't go in the store and buy it there. So people are bringing them all their inventory. They aren't going out to get anything, which I think is a really cool concept. You know, here, bring me all your stuff and I'll buy it from you.
We have an entire store consigned to us.
Someone brought this and dropped this off at my store.
What is that thing? I'm going to make you big. Show us that thing.
This is a Charming Tale figurine. So these are like super cute, but we have a whole collection of these, and they're made by Fitz and Floyd. So, but you know, this is sometimes I sell these on my Instagram or my YouTube, you know, for like $7 or something. But just a real cute figurine. This one says, "You're a very special mom."
That's cute.
And I guess this is supposed to be a mom.
And did they just like drop it off to you?
Yeah. They dropped off about half their collection, and then we started selling them through Instagram because I don't want to take the time to list those on eBay. And so I would sell them on Instagram, and they started selling. And so then they came and dropped the other half of the collection off.
That's fine.
Wow.
So Troy, you're mostly like yard sales, right? Primarily.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a handful of thrift stores, and then it's, you know, estate sales. I get most of my stuff, my best stuff at garage sales. Our local marketplace isn't great here. It's, you know, you find random deals here and there, but yeah, most of my stuff is garage sales, and then in the off season, I have to go to the thrift store.
Katie and Tay.
So in Michigan, we don't have the type of bin stores that Tay has in South Carolina. We have, I mean, you know, we have the Goodwill bins and things like that, outlet stores, you know, thrifty.
Where are
outlets.
you getting your stuff from, Katie?
Estate sales is where I'm getting a lot of my books. And I also run a free book pickup service in my local area. So I have a lot of people reach out to me, and they're just giving me their stuff for free.
So you just take everything and then you'll go through it and pick out what you want.
Yeah.
Tay,
So,
what are you doing while you're there? if you don't have your bin stores?
Estate sales. I'm the estate sale guy.
I got him hooked on estate sales now.
Yeah, I mean, estate sales, the great thing about them is you can take your time with the item. Like what I found with auctions, like I'd be looking, they'd be holding up some Waterford glasses and I'd be bidding on these, and then I'd get it in my hand and it'd be all chipped up and stuff. An estate sale, I could look at each item individually, and so it really does protect me, you know, because I can think about each individual item.
Yeah. Right. And I mean, we have the seasonal garage sales here as well. In Michigan, and I'm sure I'll get him into that.
I'm driving back to South Carolina in the wintertime and shopping in the bins.
Well, there's nothing there. I am 90% auctions, online auctions, and I've done in person, but most of the ones here are like 4 to 8 hours. And I don't have the patience. And now that I have a 2-year-old, he definitely does not have the patience to sit there through a live auction. So I will typically go, when I go to pick up my auction wins, because I'm already going, I will stop at thrift stores. So I rarely go to garage sales just because where I'm at, there aren't any. So I have to drive an hour, and it's the same thing. A grumpy 2-year-old, after driving an hour, then you let him free of his car seat, you know, for 30 minutes, and then you're shoving him back in to drive some more, and he's not a happy
All
camper.
the Cheez-Its are gone, and it's just
Katie knows. Tay's probably the same way.
Yeah, like he's just not a happy camper. Have you ever sold velvet paintings? Troy Greenwald would like to know. I just sold a velvet clown painting, a black velvet clown painting, for $55 plus shipping in less than a week. About a week and a half ago. It sold really fast, and it wasn't a buyout I got, so I only paid $1 for it. Wow. And I am on the lookout for black velvet paintings now.
Got one. Can I list it? It's just been sitting. It's just been
sitting show us.
Here.
Yeah.
I've had him hanging on my
like
wall.
Money. That's money.
So I kept him for myself, but I guess he could sell, right?
I just got, hold on. I'm gonna hide my camera and take my headphones out. You guys talk. Allie, have you sold the black velvet paintings?
We had. I think David is bringing one that
I'm gonna go get 2 that aren't black velvet. I'm gonna give Suze her dolphin, and then you guys talk. I'm gonna go grab 2 as well. So let me give the dolphin, and I will be right back.
Super chat.
So I think he went there to pick up one, but we don't sell too many of those. We do have sell paintings before, but oh yeah, we found it.
See, I have this one, and I can't believe that this is not stolen. I mean, I just can't believe that. We probably had this listed on eBay for like, I don't know.
2 years, bro.
2 years, and I thought this was going to be like a quick, sure sale, you know.
Yeah.
But
and
nope.
It's not sold?
No. Even I'll show you the back of it too. Maybe I priced it too high or something.
Those that I saw were going, I want to say for $50 to $80.
Yeah, we priced too high.
We probably priced it too high.
You know, I was just looking at them because I scrolled it by when I did my high price video. And the funny thing is I had to omit the highest price because the 200 and up ones were all naked ladies on black velvet. And I was like, and I mean like full naked ladies. Those were the ones that were selling for the most money. Hi, Dom. I mentioned you, I think, right before you came in. Thank you for coming in. I see Courtney Bula Buddies is in here.
Hi, Courtney.
Yeah, Courtney is so nice.
Yes,
I can't believe it.
Awesome.
She helped us, and she didn't ask for anything. I was like, wow.
Yes, Courtney is awesome. I have not had time, unfortunately. That I used to be in the Bolo show every Wednesday. She does her Bolo show, and I was in the habit, and then I got out, and now I've just been so busy I haven't been able to go.
Yeah, we've been.
Did I miss Cameron's super chat?
Oh,
Cameron, did I miss your super chat? He said he doesn't want a dolphin though. Well, Cameron, if you sent a super chat and I missed it, thank you. I'm sorry.
I
Cameron.
thought it was somebody.
I think you said for people to give thumbs up.
Yeah, somebody did say that.
Cameron, I'm sorry. Can someone grab Katie's link? Richard, sorry. I'm not supposed to catch Richard off guard. Justin got it, I see. I'm supposed to tell Richard if I want more links. So he knows that he's prepared, not put him on the spot.
Katie reads.
Thanks, Chris.
I saw a black velvet painting, but it had a small chip right in the sky. I'm assuming there was a sky, and if it was a big chip, I probably would not have got it. I am going to make myself big. These are not velvet paintings, but I want to show you guys these. These are awesome that I picked up today. So this is actually Asian silk embroidery. Can you guys see that? I know my ring light's brightening it up, but these are silk embroidery. And then because the other one sold, I had to go and get more clowns. This is cruel. So more clowns. But I'm hoping, I haven't even researched the silk embroidery, so I'm hoping that does well. But if it was a painting with a big chip, I would leave it.
Pat, that one was in glass, right? That first one?
No.
Oh, it was
not. It was just on velvet on canvas.
Hey,
that first one you just showed just now.
I think this is rice paper.
Oh, the silk and I have those two back there are rice paper. Do you see those two?
Yeah, I'm just wondering how you ship
glass. This does have glass.
How do you ship that?
Probably I would do it. Courtney does have a YouTube channel. Jean, Courtney, if you could drop your channel, Courtney should be a moderator and be able to drop her link. I am going to do it the same way with foam board and bubble wrap and bubble wrap and bubble wrap.
I wanted to show you this. Is this on rice paper?
Let me see. It looks like it. Now you're going to make me have to go grab my rice paper things I got today.
This thing, it said it's from the 1750. On the back, there's a little note that says it's from 1750. And there's a whole set of like maybe 8 of these that came together, and it said they're like filial prints or something.
That's pretty. I haven't researched the rice paper stuff. That's what those two are that I picked up at the thrift store today. And I haven't researched those or the silk embroidery yet. I know the clown painting, they're not paintings, they're embroidery. Hey, Yvonne.
Show and tell.
I'm $50 for them. It is show and tell time.
I sold a painting once.
What kind of painting, Tay? Tell us.
I have no idea. I got lucky. Found a Goodwill. Sold it for $400.
I get lucky when I sell mine, so
I can't even tell y'all. Y'all talking about velvet painting. I'm over here just like, oh, duh. Yeah, I have no idea.
This one time.
This one, yeah. Can't tell you if it's velvet, rice paper, rice cakes made out of chocolate. I don't know.
Yes, look out for naked ladies on black velvet because they sell for $200 to $300.
And if you can find them for $2, that's great.
You haven't had so much US Day sale this week?
Well, crap. Courtney says been canceled for 2 months. Well, see, that's what happened. Courtney was doing it, and I was in the habit. Like every Wednesday, 10 o'clock, I was there. And then she stopped, and then when she started back up, I wasn't in the habit anymore. That's what happened. That's why, like, unless I'm dying, every Tuesday at 8 p.m., I am right here. I've missed one in a year and a half, and I was almost dying.
That's tough. Are entertaining people for
I sold a really great painting one time. Okay, so this painting, I had never heard of this movie or anything. Have you guys ever seen the movie Sybil?
I've heard. Isn't that like a horror movie?
No, it's about the lady who was the first woman to ever be diagnosed with multiple personality disorder.
Well, that's kind of horror.
Well, we went to this estate sale in our area, and an antique dealer, they were liquidating his estate, and I bought out the end of the sale. So for $2,000, I got 1,000 items. And one of those 1,000 items was a painting by Sybil. And that was amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, it sold to some guy in Nintendo. So I think it's being at Nintendo headquarters.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's cool, though.
Very cool.
Christy has a question for Katie. Katie, what is the best book you have sold?
The best book that I've sold. I guess she means highest profit. The highest profit book was one for $500. I sold it to someone in France. It was a book from 1901 on mysticism that I got for $3 at an estate sale.
That's awesome. I accidentally came across A River Runs Through It that was signed,
Nice.
and that sold on auction for $350, and I had like a couple bucks in it.
Wow.
So I pay more attention to the books now. I don't know a ton, but I know I look for that title, but I mean I pay a little more attention to books now.
I am too now.
Right. Comes in time. You start learning.
Yeah, just pick up those little sets.
One of my unicorn finds would be if I could find Hans Christian Andersen's Fairy Tales first edition.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm looking
Or
for.
misprint books. I'm always looking for misprint books. That would be really cool to find.
I wonder if these are silk embroidered on silk. I bet they are. That is so cool. I just won them on the auction. I don't even know how much I paid.
It's very colorful.
Yeah.
I don't think I paid much. Like, I think I only paid a couple bucks. I feel like I paid like $8 for both, so $4 a piece. But Joe and or Renee, which is Flippin' Flamingo, said the silk embroidered rooster on silk they got go for $30, normally to $300. And Naked sells on eBay 110%. I sold old, they weren't Playboy. They were, what's the other one?
Is it Hustler?
It wasn't Hustler. It was with the M. I think they were playing cards though, and they sold for $50. And I got them for 50 cents at an estate sale. So Naked definitely.
I do have a collection of Playboys that I have to pick up tomorrow. It's 240 Playboys.
I had some, like our neighbor dropped them off to my husband. But like when I looked, they didn't look like they were really worth any. They weren't like new, but they weren't old. I ended up just trashing them.
I have a very sad story. We had an estate sale where we found all these very old Playboys, right? And they had Playboy #1. So we were like, yeah, this is worth a lot of money, Marilyn Monroe, you know? And someone had taken like scissors and cut the centerfold out.
Oh.
So we sold it for $10.
That sucks.
Oh.
The fact that somebody still purchased it for $10.
Well, the thing is, if you could find just the centerfold, and if you could put it back in there, you know, you could probably sell it for $500.
Right.
You know?
Refurbished.
Tiffany, I'm gonna assume Tiffany means as far as eBay, but you guys can answer as far as other stuff as well. Do we do auctions or just a set price? I do 95% of my stuff buy it now with best offer on, but like that River Runs Through It book that I just talked about that sold for $350, that was an auction because it was not a first edition, but it was autographed, so I wasn't sure as far as the value. And I think I started at 100 because I felt like it was worth at least 100, and it went up to 350. So for me, unless I have very little in, and I think the value could be higher than I would price it, I'm gonna price it high on buy it now or best offer.
Mm-hmm. That's what I do. I pretty much, if I think something, I'll list price a little bit higher, and then I'll just turn on best offer, so they can send me an offer on an item, and then I'll kind of go from there. But 95%, like you said, buy it now price versus auction.
I think we kind of almost do the opposite. I think we're 95%. Our first time around, we start at auction. Unless we're very, very, because there's so many items in the antique business that you just kind of aren't sure about the price for us. And so we start our first time around at auction. I think it protects us. And then I don't feel bad if it, you know, sometimes if something sells.
But are you starting low or are you starting at the lowest you're willing to take? I start at the lowest I'm willing to take when I do an auction.
Well, I learned one thing that took me a while to learn that in terms of a pricing. So if you go to search sold price of the items, you see like what is the highest one, what is the lowest one, and then we start kind of in the middle, the auction, because depends in the quality of our item. Sometimes our item is better quality than other ones that were sold before. So we start in the middle, and I never lost. It's
Allie, she gives better deals than I do. Like, I'll go in the estate sale. I'll be like, why is this $30? This should be $100. And she's like, oh, no, believe it. Because I'm living in eBay world, and she's like, let's sell stuff,
Right. Yeah. Troy, you've been doing some auctions, right?
I do some. I think I personally, I think the only time you should do an auction is, like you said, when you really have no idea of what the value is. And it's okay, let's let the market decide what the value is. But really, you should only do it if there's high demand and very low supply. So if you can see, like, for instance, well, I went the wrong way. Stone Cold Steve Austin, the cookie jar. I'm going to take his head off and just show you his head. There are, I think, 6 or 7 sold, none available right now. And so every time one shows up, it sells. So this would be a good candidate for an auction if I wanted to auction. I think I'm actually going to list it high.
Yeah.
But typically, most of the time when I do auctions like this, if I auctioned this, I would start it at 99 cents and just let it roll. Because like you were saying earlier with the DVDs, when you sell those low dollar items, it increases activity in your store. If you have something like this that will sell for very quickly, the last sold was $49.99 plus shipping. It'll sell all day at $50.
Right.
But if I put it at 99 cents, I'm going to get a bid and a bid and a bid and a bid.
Right. And it's more activity on your eBay store. No, I agree for sure.
I mean, I put my Dark Tower game up. It's a unicorn. Like you have to find it if you're a board game person. Right. I put that game up for auction, started it at 99 cents and let it go. And I ended up selling it for, it was close to $300, I think.
Yeah, if the demand's there, it's going to go no matter what you started at.
Yeah.
Random chick picker, one of those paintings. I'm pageant dress material. Did she mean the velvet one? I'm guessing. Is it the velvet one, or do you mean the rice paper one?
Yeah.
Random chick, tell us which painting you were saying is like yours. Miss Eva's club. We're going to defer this one over to Katie. Do travel books sell?
Hit and miss. I guess it depends what platform you're using as well. A lot of what I do, I scan for Amazon first and then monetize everything else on other platforms. But
I did books on Amazon for a while, and then I'm like, never mind. And I got mine from a guy who did what you do. So he would go pick up all the books, and I think he was only keeping really high ranking, and then he would sell me my whole car full for $20. And I'm like, I'll take them up to like 1 million ranking, like if I have the profit there.
I'll take
but he wasn't. He was so picky, and I would find really good books. And so he was going getting them for free, only keeping high rankings, and then I go buy the rest for $20. But then I'm the one stuck with disposing them. Anyways, I stopped doing that. But I sold my 33 by 36 painting for $185 on eBay, and I see a lot of high priced paintings selling on eBay. Is anybody else selling paintings somewhere else besides? I'm like big time eBay. Now all of that is, I sold a $150 painting on Poshmark of all places. Poshmark has a home category and shipped it out.
On Etsy?
I'm not a fluffer like Etsy needs. I do not like typing very much, so I am not on Etsy.
What do you mean?
Paintings for us are very difficult to pack. So I like to ship them. I like to sell them locally.
Yeah.
But other than that, do we sell a lot?
Well, we don't sell a lot, but let's say we sell one each month, probably. But we do sell like big ones. Remember that the Marie Antoinette one?
Marie Antoinette.
The huge one.
I'm not sure.
Like this size.
But what I find is like eBay is the best for that really high dollar items. Like we sold a porcelain plaque. It was a painting of flowers, And like eBay just helps us to find that person in New York City that can afford a highly collectible item, you know?
Right. Yeah. And mine sold fast in under 2 weeks. And now these I picked up this time minus the $5 rice paper ones are all smaller. They're all under like 2 feet by 2 feet. So I paid attention to the size this time. Last time I did not. That's how I ended up with like giant paintings. Do you guys, I would be worried like locally, I don't, at least especially here, I wouldn't find the people willing to pay that money where I live.
Yeah, I mean, locally, sometimes we'll find like a painting that was like almost from like a furniture store or something that somebody paid like $500 for. So we might sell it for like $280 or something like that.
Yeah, see here, I'm like in the middle of nowhere. Hi, Drew. Is Drew's mom in here? I haven't seen Drew's mom in here tonight. Drew's mom watches my channel and comments a lot. The microphone does kind of blend in with her hoodie. I do. Mick Jodo wants to know, are cookie jars and easy sale or trending?
Oh,
yeah.
You thought you were just like holding.
He was holding on to you. I think that is almost like asking if shirts sell. There's so many different cookie jars and brands. And hello, Debbie. It's, that's really generalized. I hate to say that. That's not an easy answer.
I just wouldn't use the word trending.
Yeah.
I don't think they're trending.
But there's some brands that are going to be highly sought after because they are collectible.
Yeah, it depends on the subject matter more than anything else, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. They thought you had a fake Katie, Tay.
Wow, that is too obsessive. I'm just saying. I like her, guys. But come on. That's movie territory, stalkerish type stuff.
That's like books I'd write about.
Yeah,
You're very welcome for the live show, BB. I'm glad to be here and put it on for you. Couple of pickers who are my neighbors. They live about an hour away, and we have went in person picking together a couple of times. They said they've sold paintings on Etsy. They sell a lot on Etsy. Their second platform behind eBay is Etsy. So I guess they're better flippers than me. I can't type all of that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, here's a painting. Here's the size. You like it or you don't.
Yep.
That's it. But that's how I list so fast too, guys. That's how I get the quantity I get.
Right.
Because I might research for like 10 minutes max. And if I can't find it, I'm like, I paid $1. I'm going to list it at 50 because I see similar stuff like it for 50 and I'll be happy with $45. And if somebody buys it and makes 500, more power to them, but I just got to keep going.
So you don't put much in your descriptions either, do you?
I don't put anything in my description.
Yeah, I don't hardly at all either.
Me neither.
I could never.
Unless it has a flaw. If it has a flaw,
yeah.
I will put it. If there's a rip or like my Matador painting, the canvas is kind of like sagging a little bit in one area. So I put that and made sure I showed a photo of it. So if there's a flaw, I put read in capital letters in the title, and then I put whatever the flaw is in the description. If there's no flaw, there will be no description, and I do not measure any piece of clothing.
Please see photos. That's my go-to.
I don't even put that. There.
The only thing I'll measure vintage tees because those sizes are different. I'll just measure the chest is it, and then I'll measure jeans because sometimes they shrink.
Yeah,
that's it. I put very basic measurements, and I don't put any description 95% of the time.
Wow. So I've tried Etsy, guys. I'm not saying I've not. I've tried Etsy, and I did not sell anything. So
don't go to our listings then, because we describe everything.
Like a mile long.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I describe everything too.
But everybody does it different. Like that's why I love reselling. That's why I love bringing on different people every week. Like Cameron Flashback Finds, who is one of my good friends who sells more than me. does free shipping. And you know what? He's kicking my butt. So, and it works for him, and he doesn't promote, and I promote everything and charge shipping, but we're both, I'm doing over 10,000 in sales a month, typically part-time. And so you have to find what works for you. If you want to do free shipping, do free shipping, do whatever you want. I will not do free shipping unless the market dictates it and everybody else is doing it for that item. Oh, that is so cool. So Michelle said she sells her own paintings on eBay and Etsy when she gets time to paint. I would like to know, if you're still in the chat, I would like to know if you feel like you get a value, like if you get the value for the time spent, because it like hurts me, all of like the vintage like Afghans. I know how many hours those take somebody to make, and then I just bought it for $2 at the thrift store. So I'm okay with selling it for 35 to 40. But the poor person who makes that or is trying to make that to sell, they can't even buy the yarn for $30. So I would like to know if you're getting, like, are you getting I hope you're getting a good price for your time that you put in. My dogs are late. My dogs break out of the yard to sleep on the porch of the shed, and they're barking right now. If they know I'm in here, they break out of the yard and come lay on the porch. I have guard dogs.
Well, we came to the store because we do have dogs. So if we're home now, not fun.
We would hear them.
Yeah, we have miniature dachshunds, so they're guard dogs, but they're small.
I used to raise them. Mine that are sleeping on the porch are Chihuahua Yorkie mixes. The big dog cannot break out of the fence. Thank goodness. Okay, here's the info. It's one on silk looking material and one on rice paper. So it's actually both. So a rice paper and like my silk one is embroidery. It's embroidery on like silk thread, I believe, on silk is what that framed one with the glass is. And then the two big ones that are there are on rice paper. And I mean, the frame's worth more than the $5 I paid for it. They're in really nice frames. So I'm going to have to research more, but I'm thinking like $100 is what I'm thinking. Here's the answer. Heck no. But I like to paint. So if someone appreciates my work enough to buy, they're usually kind of poor folks, so I can relate. That makes sense. I just hate that. Like the baby blankets and stuff and quilts. Like quilts take hours and hours and hours and really should sell for like $300 to $500. My mom, when she does custom ones, I think charges about $300 to $500. And but if I buy a quilt for $40, I'm happy to get $200 for it, even though like I said, the person that put that original work into it, it's worth much, much more than that.
Yeah, we sold a crazy quilt the other day from the 1800s for $80.
Oh, I've seen those. Those are cool.
Well, it was going to go to $40 at our estate sale, and we offered it on Instagram, and it got bid up to $85.
I think it's those were selling well when I was researching them. They were selling, I want to say, a couple hundred.
Oh, I bet.
Those are nice, though. Those are really cool looking. Have I decided to get rid of Poshmark yet? I have not. I have not decided. I have not. Because like soon as I say I'm getting rid of them, then I'll get like 2 sales on Poshmark, and I'm like, well, crap. And it's not much more time for my mom to cross post to Poshmark when she's already doing it to Mercari and Facebook. It's like one more click. So I haven't. It's definitely still at the bottom of my platforms. It's not.
I never really went off eBay until I went to Instagram and YouTube. But the only online platform we use is eBay, other than YouTube and Instagram.
So
what percentage of sales do you think you have from that?
From the Instagram and YouTube?
Yeah, just from like social media versus eBay. Like,
well, I mean, I think not a whole lot, but we're very new. Like, there's a lot more people who are like much more power sellers on Instagram and YouTube than us. Like, somebody who has like 25,000 friends on Instagram will be bringing in really, really high prices. I've got 4,000 friends, and I mean, that's good for me, but we probably sell like maybe 1,000 a week on Instagram or YouTube.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, but I mean that's decent.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we're pulling in on our live sales. I mean, we're pulling in probably usually if it's a good sale, like 100 an hour, 200 an hour.
Yeah, that
It depends. Sometimes I'll have. The other day, I had these 4 Herond porcelain figurines. All of them sold for decent prices. I mean, in 20 minutes, we generated probably $600 in sales. But of course, I pay a lot of that out to the people who own the items.
yeah. Yeah, because you're consigning them. Wendy wants to know, would you not be afraid starting an auction at 99 cents that it would sell too low? And Renee, I see your super chat. So as soon as we answer this, I will get your super chat. I will tell you, when John Cincinnati Picker was on, he said he studied it and he does all of his auctions at 99 cents just because of that whole bidder mentality. And like if you get somebody invested at 99 cents, by the time it gets up to 50, 75, at that point, they're thinking, this is my item. And they're going to just keep on going. So for me, I don't do the 99 cents. I used to, but I understand the mentality of of doing that because it's going to get more traction. It's going to get more bids. It's going to get more views. So what do you guys think as far as the whole 99 cent thing?
It's only going to work on stuff that should have gone to auction in the first place. Like it's got to be the stuff that there's going to be a lot of people wanting it, because then you get, when people see it that low, you pick up a lot of early bids, you get a whole lot of watchers. And if it's a high demand item, like I said, it's going to end up market value anyway, or over, because of the same, exactly what Kat said, people get invested, and instead of 2 people fighting over it at the end, you might have 4 or 5 people fighting over it at the end because they were in it 7 days ago or 10 days ago. I run a lot of mine 10 days. I start them on Thursday and Thursday evening and run it 10 days because then it goes through 2 weekends during that cycle. So you just get more people involved in the fight that way, I think.
I personally,
you cut out.
I don't run enough auctions to have an opinion, to be honest.
Yeah, I usually start them more in the range of like what I would want. I tried the 99 cent thing and I was usually disappointed unless it was something that was a very high dollar item. Like I sold a vehicle one time, so I started that at 99 cents because it's going to get bid up,
Right.
But I sell a lot of glassware and stuff, and I think a lot of the items I sell, there is might only be one person interested in the item, so I started where I wanted to.
Get it. Yeah, and that's about what I do too. Renee, thank you for the super chat. I will give you your dolphin and then we will answer your question.
Super chat.
Squishmallows can be worth a lot of money. I will say that first. I pick up almost everyone I see. I do not vacuum pack them. I just ship them in poly bag because they're not going to be like oversized. Really, they'll fit in. I get eBay's bigger poly bags and those are thicker. I will double poly them. Does anybody else sell plush?
I sell some plush, not a ton. Chris is in here. Chris would know. It depends on the plush. A lot of times I put it in box. Usually if it's like $30 or more, I like whatever it is. I'll put it in a box.
Yeah, we do sell some plush, but it's not very often, and we always pack in a box.
I do poly, even like the $50 ones, unless they're going overseas. I will say if they are going international, it's going in a box. It's not going to go in a poly. So I wouldn't vacuum. I do like my mattress covers. I just did because they were so big. I wanted and I didn't vacuum pack them. I mean, I did, but without a vacuum. I twisted the back and then I pushed all of the air out of it.
Sit on it.
Yeah, I'm like, Brad, push this. It was both of us because it's a big old king size mattress topper. Patricia Kaiser over from Facebook. So we do stream live to Facebook if everybody doesn't know. I bought a Ross painting at an estate sale. How do you research it for how much it is worth?
Priceless. Ross is priceless. I love him.
What do you guys do? What do you use to research your paintings?
I look at sold listings on eBay. That's my most common way of appraising an item.
What if it's not there?
Well, then
I'm putting you in the hot seat.
yeah. Well, we do Google paintings. Use Google to try to search the item and other sources. We do have a essential collection of books that I also look up. If you look here at the side, I have every antique book that is, this is about antiques. I buy it.
And actually, those sell very well. Like, a lot of people want those. So, and you see them sitting around at estate sales for like $1. People will regularly pay you $10 for a reference book about antiques.
Yeah. I pick up most of them. Katie, do you do any plush stuff? I don't know the answer to that.
No. I think I've sold like 2 plush so far in my entire reselling career.
And what about paintings? No,
not really. I mean, I see them all the time, super cheap at
I
estate
use
sales.
WorthPoint.
I just don't.
I'm a big WorthPoint fan. I pay for my WorthPoint subscription, and that's what I use. And if I cannot find it on WorthPoint, then I look at like similar stuff and price. I will price high, because if nobody has anything like it, I just need that right person to find it, and they'll be willing to pay what I'm asking. So I would do that. And if you think it's worth like $1,000 or more, I would consider getting it appraised. If you get past that $1,000 point. Most of mine that are higher end are, $200-$300. Look, Kelly's saying she sells old artwork. Kelly is my neighbor too. She is in Ocala. Jean wants to know, how do you decide whether to accept an offer or issue a counter offer?
How much you want the money?
Step one. That is definitely step one.
I think it's just kind of an attitude, what your attitude is. Like, a lot of times we just kind of automatically counter, we don't really, unless we're really happy with the price, but usually we'll counter because the person's expressing interest. They probably have some interest. So they'll sometimes, I mean, we do lose a lot of sales because we counter offer though.
Yeah.
How disrespectful is the offer too? I mean, some people will say a crazy disrespectful offer. So I wouldn't even acknowledge them. I would just
so you said
you would decline, or would you ignore it?
I'll leave them in limbo.
Yeah.
Just let it sit there. I go crazy though. Like, if I see stuff, that's why all my stuff's promoted. Because if it says you have this many items to promote, I'm like, okay, I gotta get rid of that stupid line. I'm going to look at how long I've had the item. So if it's been sitting here over a year with like no interest and it's a decent offer, I'm going to take it. I took an offer today that I probably normally wouldn't have, or I would have countered. It was $24 for a Hawaiian shirt. I had listed at $42. So it was over 50%. 50%, like under 50% is where I get like kind of pissy with them. So they were over that 50% mark, not by much. And my sales have been low. So I'm thinking, okay, if I accept this offer, this might kick me into getting more sales. And I've had this shirt for a year and I have $4 into it. So 4 into 24, plus the chance that the eBay algorithm might throw some more sales my way. I gritted my teeth as I accepted it, but I did accept the $24 offer and I did get more sales. So I think you have to take into, I think the biggest thing, and I don't know if Erin's still in here, Rebel Junk. She had something she paid not much for, and she thought it was valued at like $400, $450. And somebody, I want to say, sent her an offer of $150 or $200, but she was like less than $10 in. I'm like, well, you can counter them or you can make $100 in less than a week. And that, like, now if I like the item and it's pretty sitting on my shelf or my wall, they're not going to get it cheap. But if you need more money for capital and you're making $100 profit or a bigger item, then I would consider. So it depends on what you want to do. If you're looking at only your profit, or are you looking at the value, or did they piss you off? If they send me less than 50%, I'm kind of, I will most likely decline. Troy, what do you do with your offers?
Yeah, I mean, if it's less than 50, I flat decline them. I don't counter. I don't. And sometimes it's people just trying to find a good deal and they're really interested. And if that's the case, they will come back with another offer. I've made plenty of sales where I started off initially just straight out declining them. No message, no, because they're just trying to find, a lot of times, because you can have it set for the minimum amount that you'll accept. So sometimes savvy eBay buyers know that, and they start at a very low level, and then they'll send another one, and then they'll send another one. They're just trying to find that automatic, your basement. If you have I don't set one of those. So I see all the low.
I don't have it either. I don't have a minimum offer. I used to do that, but I've turned, I had somebody, they sent me 10 on a 25, and I actually did counter, even though that was less than half. I countered them at 22. I didn't take much off. I was willing to take 18, and I got them up to 17, and that took three offers back and forth, but I got them up $7, where if I had set that to that $15 price point, I would have never, seen that, and might not have had the chance to negotiate that with them.
Well, and if it sat there for a long time, what you were, you're talking about the shirt, what you were willing to accept a year ago as your boss
is much different than a year later. Yeah.
And I'm not going to go into a listing that I set a year ago and go, oh, I'd actually take less now. And I'm looking at stuff I'm listing now. So if they're serious, they'll come back, and then you can send a counter and say, okay, now, now I can work with you. But I have best offer on 98% of my stuff. I sell stuff on offers all the time.
David and Allie, you're doing mostly auctions. Do you turn on offers where you'll end the auction if you get an acceptable offer, or do you not do that?
Well, during the auction, we don't accept offers.
Okay.
We want people bid on the auction and go through the auction. After the item is being an auction and did not sold, then we turn it and buy it now, and then we might accept offers, and honestly,
after the auction ends.
Yes,
I do that too. Some stuff I'll run on auction. If it doesn't sell, then most times I double the price and take offer.
And honestly, one thing that I learned with eBay buyers is they send me an offer that is a little ridiculous. I counter offer and I said, look, I paid that for this item. I'm not selling for that low, and I need to make a profit. I'm here for a profit. So that's my lowest offer. That's it.
I will say, Stephanie, let me give you your dolphin before I missed that super chat. So let me give you your dolphin.
Super chat.
And I don't know if you guys can answer. I don't know that any of us have that much experience with the black velvet paintings to answer if they can be cleaned. I feel like they couldn't be. I think you'd ruin them.
Yeah.
Most antiques and collectibles, I don't really clean.
I don't either, because I have a really pretty I'm pretty sure it's antique handkerchief quilt, and it's got stains, and I'm like, if I try and wash it, this thing could fall apart.
Yeah.
And so I just took pictures of the stains, said that I have not attempted to remove them. And some people might, if they collect that kind of thing, they might know specific ways to safely remove it that I don't know. What else was I going to say? I was going to say something else, but I don't remember. I forgot. I
do want to reiterate on the quick offer thing. Let's say if you just list an item and somebody sends you an offer, I never ever take those offers, because if I just list an item and somebody sends me an offer immediately, that lets me know that it should sell for whatever price that I'm asking for.
Yeah.
Well, we had items that that painting that we listed, we really didn't know in the beginning from whom that painting was. Somebody sent us a message saying, well, I advise you to put down this listing and research who you are selling.
And people are nice like that, though. People that are collectors that know stuff will help you and message you on eBay and be like, hey.
We changed our listing from 900 to 5,000.
Right.
And we sold it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's what I was going to say. On Facebook, I've had a lot of people asking me, and I do not have offers turned on Facebook because I'm sorry, but I know how Facebook works and they are not getting the chance to technically send me an offer. They still message and do it, but the option is not there for them to click. I tell, like, they don't even think about, like, somebody wanted a big tureen from me. It was already at like $30. And I'm like, this is going to take a long time to pack. It's like a 12-inch soup tureen that's breakable. It's going to cost me shipping supplies. It's going to cost me a box. And they were wanting me to ship it for free. And I'm like, no, like, you have to figure. And they're like, well, I'm not going to drive an hour to get it. Okay, well, I'm not going to spend an hour packing it for you to not make any money. So I will flat out tell people, because people don't think of like our time. You know, our time is money. And if it's going to take me an hour to pack an item, I better be making $100 or more on that item for my time, not $20.
Yep.
Minus my supplies. So then I'm making like $5 an hour. You know, no. Here's a question. If anybody, I don't know where you can get them appraised. I would Google, you know, appraisers in your area, maybe.
I know Dr. Lori. If you send pictures for her, she can appraise. She charges for that. But
And the Antique Nomad is an appraiser.
yeah,
George was on here recently. George will be on again soon, and I know Drew Profit Monsters is in the chat, and Drew and Joey with a special co-host will be on May 25th, and then followed up by Jocelyn Crazy Lamp Lady again. So that we have some fun guests coming up soon. How do you compare Facebook Marketplace shipping to the eBay thing? Facebook Marketplace is almost like Mercari, as in, like, their shipping is cheap compared to calculated on eBay. So, like, I think 2 to 5 pounds is only like $12. I use Facebook's labels where the customer pays, and now they have an option of 10 to 50 pounds. So you can ship bigger items with Facebook Marketplace now too. That just became available recently, which is nice because they don't make you put in the size. Somebody messaged me and they're like, but my golf bag is oversized. And I'm like, but Facebook didn't ask me that. So if I want to ship a giant box that weighs 5 pounds, I'm going to do it with their label, and I've never had an issue. And that's why I like Mercari too. It's not that you're cheating the system, but the system's not asking you if your package is oversized. They only want to know what is the weight of this item. So that makes, like, some of the bigger stuff more, like, appealing on Facebook Marketplace, because the shipping is going to be half to a quarter of what it would be on eBay on calculated. Like, I have a golf bag up right now too, saying, you know, it's not heavy, but it's going to be pretty, you know, a pretty big box. I'm trying to see, and we are getting close to the end. So if you guys have questions, definitely ask them. Look, I can't even say that. What if you list something for auction and it gets a buy it now offer through messages for 3 times the amount of it last selling?
Scam.
That would be a very rare situation.
Yeah.
well, I would make strong advice for that person bid an auction.
I will tell you that book, My River Runs Through It, not even an hour after I listed it, somebody offered me $250 to take it down. And I told them, no, I would rather you bid on it. And the crazy thing is, like, 5 minutes before the end, it was at $150. And I'm like, what the hell did I do? I could have had $250 a week ago. It went up $200 in the last 10 minutes. And I'm like, okay. But I mean, I was sweating because I'm like, I could have had their $250 a week ago.
Well, I had a business partner who I used to work with, and he was an expert in glassware and porcelain. And he found a teacup one time and listed it for like $100. Somebody said, oh, hey, I'll give you $150 for that right now. And if you take it down, and he's like, I'm not doing it. So it ended up going for $725. So usually when you get those early offers, especially when an auction's going on, let it go through the auction process because you're going to win.
Yeah, I agree with that. Christine, I have old Barbie clothes that are extremely wrinkled. Do you think it would be okay to steam it? I do. And my reseller, Treasure Brandy, is very, very specialized in like doll clothing. She sells Barbie outfits for like $200. She's amazing. It's my reseller Treasure on YouTube. She goes over like how she cleans them. She goes over how she washes like vintage and antique Barbie hair. She has a lot of very, very informative videos on her channel. So I would definitely check her out. Offered someone 100 for lucite grapes. She came down to 15 from 20.
Lucite grapes are popular. Lucite is hot.
But they lost $80.
I'm like trying to.
They lost 80. They lost money.
Yeah.
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 You did.
Resell that lucite on Instagram, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
That's one thing
Y'all
that
about
I
to make me do an Instagram auction. I'll be on Instagram all week next week because of y'all.
Well, one thing that I really like about Instagram and YouTube is it connects you with people. I feel like eBay kind of doesn't really let me connect with people. You know, like I can connect with my buyers through social media, and
Right.
I think
and
it's
actually talk to them.
Mhm.
well. Plus, when I buy something off of a social media seller, like I remember that person like all the time. Like I have a coffee mug I bought off of someone. Her name's Missy, the Hen and Chick Picks. She was one of the first ladies I ever went live with on Instagram, and every time I look at that cup, I remember her.
Right. Okay. Dontae and Katie, you see this? Yvonne says if you take a road trip near Colorado, she wants to go thrifting.
Okay, I'm down.
Gotcha, girl.
Colorado.
Tay got detoured. He was supposed to come see me and never showed up. I don't know what happened.
I'm coming.
Anyway,
It's still in Florida. I'm still coming.
Carla, so Mercari does ask you to put in dimensions, but they do not require them. So yes, I am saying if you only put in a weight, that you can still go past that.
Yeah.
You do not have to put in the weight. It is not required. What do you do when items keep asking for item specifics even after you've completed them? Sometimes you have to put in like, I will put in like where you can type it in, something that actually makes no sense for the item. You just have to make sure you've got something in that spot.
You can put as well unknown.
Like unknown,
Yeah.
not applicable, not applicable. I do that all the time.
NA.
It's like, what brand is this purse that doesn't have a brand on it?
Unbranded.
Good night, Debbie.
I just type in purse. Or that's like
Brand,
what
purse.
material on the shoes. Shoes. I don't.
All right, guys. We are going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to go backwards and let Toledo Antique go first. And we will say bye. I want to say thank you to all of you, even like Katie, my surprise guest, for coming on. I appreciate it. And everybody in chat, we still have over 300. Thank you guys for coming. We will be here next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And make sure you check out these guys' channels. The links are in the comments below. Here is Toledo Antique.
You want to say bye?
Oh, okay, we're just saying bye.
Yeah, just say bye.
Oh, well, thank you so much
Yeah.
for having us on the show and letting us come on. And thank you, everyone, for viewing. And
Comments.
we're Toledo Antique.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay. Troy, say bye.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, you guys are doing the worst exits ever. Katie, do a good exit.
Bye.
Make sure that you like, share, subscribe to Prison2Profit and Katie Reads, and make sure y'all hit that like button for Kat and all the special guests that we had today, Troy and Alyssa.
Thank you for letting me pop in, Kat. I appreciate
Yes, man.
it.
Thank you for that special invite.
I appreciate you coming in. Thank you guys so much. We will see you guys next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard.